Would Levan Saginashvili still be number one ranked arm wrestler in the world if this man was still alive? Now, we're of course talking about the Ukrainian legend Andrey Pushkar, who tragically passed away in November of 2018. Now, born in 1985, he was only 33 years when he passed, and even at that young age, he had already amassed a very significant amount of arm wrestling championships, to the effect of 15 WAF world titles, 5 Nemiroff world championships, 7 Zloty Tur titles, a whole bunch of A1s and Russian championships, Ukrainian championships, PAL Supermatch Vendettas. The list is very long, somewhat over 200 official professional titles when he passed. Now, he was unanimously, at the time, considered the world number one rank on both left arm and right arm, with notable victories over Denis Saplenkov in 2008 with a 6-0 victory there, and his most recent and last tournament before he passed, the Russian A1, where you had attendants like Dave Chafee, Denis Saplenkov, Samarenko, John Brzenk, and he breezed through that tournament as though none of them were there. Now, at 33 years old, he passed, as I said, in 2018, which was 1 year prior to the arrival and the commencement of Levan Saginashvili's dominant career. Of course, in 2019, we saw the PAL's Top 8 series, which is really where the supermatch run of Levan began. He defeated people like Tim Bresnan, Kitagali Ongarboyev, and Vitaly Laletin in the final of that, and since then he has not been beaten. Now, there is no doubt that had Andrey Pushkar have been alive, he would have been in that top 8 and he would have been the number 1 seed, and we would have seen Levan and Pushkar face in the final. Now, for everything that Levan Saginashvili has done, in my eyes, I cannot possibly see or assume that Levan would have gone past him. Yes, I will admit Levan is what seems now as the strongest arm wrestler that there has ever been, but nothing motivates a man more than seeing a man on the rise who is chasing you. And that's what it would have been for Andrey Pushkar. Remember, only 33 years old when he passed, so he would be 39 years old as we speak today. Very much still in his prime, very much still with all the potential to make gains. He stood at 6 foot 2 inches tall. He was 128 kilos or thereabouts, and he would have continued to rise. Now, his style of arm wrestling was classically known as just side pressure. He would just stomp people. He would load so heavily with back pressure at the beginning. He would flare his nostrils, get all his energy really high, and just crush directly sideways. Now, I once had an opportunity to sit down with John Brzenk, and I asked him about his experience of all the people he's arm wrestled in his career, and he at the time, this was in 2018, he at the time said to me that he had never touched anyone's hand like Andrey Pushkar. He said Andrey Pushkar was the strongest arm wrestler he had ever experienced, and at the Russian A1, when Andrey just went through everybody, John said he could not even fathom the limit of Andrey's power. Now, Levan Saginashvili is in a similar status right now. Many people cannot fathom his degree of power, but Andrey was in the exact same boat. Now, I know we will never get to see this match, but we will get the opportunity to debate about how it would have gone. I know that the Pushkar legacy is a very, very significant one. And I did get to meet the man in Moldova. Watching him perform on stage, I would describe Andrey Pushkar's style as it was like a ton of bricks just crashing down on people. I watched him win that tournament, and I even got to stand a meter away from him filming one of his matches with the Georgian guy. What's his name? The really tall Georgian. The tall Georgian that took on Derek Smith. Not Gennady Kvikvinia, not Levan Saginashvili. You guys know who I'm talking about. Anyway, I watched Pushkar destroy him in the final. Bang, side pressure, knuckles up very high, huge back pressure, crashing sideways. No one would come close to Andrey Pushkar. Now, Andrey Pushkar, had he have been in the mix with Levan right now, I think it's so fascinating to me. Like I said, I I have all the respect for Levan, but I can't help but think that Andre would have been someone who was pushed heavily by Levan, by the presence and the arrival of Levan, and would have made those gains as well. Had Andre had turned into a 150 kilo monster in order to prevent Levan becoming Levan, is it really that crazy to think that we'd still have Andrey Pushkar as number one today at 39 years old? I tend to think that very much would have been a possibility. Anyway, we don't get to see it, but we do get to talk about it. I want to know your opinion. Would Levan Saginashvili still be number one ranked in the world today if Andrey Pushkar was still alive? Rest in peace, Andrey. Thank you to your family for all of the content and everything that you guys continue to allow us to use. So let us know, guys. Keep this debate going, because Andrey Pushkar is a legend. We never want to forget him. And many of his students, Oleg Petrenko, people like that, have gone on to be world champions. So his legacy continues to this day. Cheers, guys.